Hey everyone, welcome back to another 31-minute podcast. Morning, Jordan.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hello.
What hat have you got on today?
It's my McGrath one. I want a 31.
McGrath hat.
I want a 31 minutes hat when they come in. I still wear the other
I'll
31
get the other one.
minute
Tara's
hats.
never going to wear it. Yeah, I'll let her know. She can have it.
No, just when they come in.
I reckon she's probably even forgotten about it by now. She's just like, that one, my one? I want that one. That one, my one. Okay. All right then. You have that one. You'll never wear it, but have that one.
Girls don't even wear hats most of the
She's
time.
not a good sharer. She's a terrible sharer. Jackson?
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you going?
Good.
You had a bit of a not so good sleep?
Yeah, I had like the worst nightmare of my life.
A couple of lines of cocaine?
10. No. No, like I just couldn't, I didn't want to go back to sleep. It was that scary.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened?
Jackson has the 2 dogs in his room.
Yeah, no, it was like, I can't remember, but I was going back to sleep and I could hear it in my ear again. Like I'd close my eyes and it'd be like, brrr, like in my ear. And I'm like, oh, like I don't want to go to sleep. It's too scary. So I just watched TikTok for 10 minutes and then put Joe Rogan on and like listen to Joe Rogan, went to sleep and then had a different dream.
Yeah, right.
It's still scary, but not as scary.
There you go.
Yeah.
Could've jumped in our bed.
Yeah. No, I tried that once already.
Yeah. Give you a few cuddles like when you're a kid. Come on in, you get Jack.
You, Tara, 3 dogs.
Yeah.
Jacko.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, that's in a whole nother story. Let's get straight into it. We put a thing up yesterday. I thought a few podcast topics. We've got a lot of topics that people have sent in, but there's a few over the next couple of weeks. We'll do different topics, but we'll do a few of those. Has anyone sent any questions in that they need answered straight away? Or no?
Yeah, the hundreds.
No, not those ones. Any other questions that you need to talk about?
No, like you sent a few messages into the 31-minute chat, but they were more like people saying thank you rather than questions.
Yeah,
exactly.
okay, that's
This is
fine.
probably the best base here.
Well, let's start on one topic quickly now, which I put a story up today. Find your best frequency and hold it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is the art of people get. I think people overcomplicate frequency a little bit. They think they need to like work out like what it is and in this way and manage it. All it is how you feel. So like the mood that you're in. So today I woke up in a like okay mood, like all right, just a bit of like a neutral. And usually I'm like, I even went to write a story and I was like, no, I don't have any bubbles to share today.
Yeah.
And
Normally you're like, let's shoot the lights out.
that's it. Normally it's like, yes, let's go. And then, but I just laid there for a while, maybe 20 minutes, and just slowly got it going. Slowly.
How come you reckon this morning?
Just, I think it was just the way it was. Like I was tired yesterday. Like I trained in the morning, took the kids out last night, went to bed early, just had good sleep. But I was just like, the motor just was idling. It wasn't like going crazy. So, but your job is to get it going. So like, it took a little while. It took probably the best part of 45 minutes to an hour. Like I got up after 20 something minutes and then just did my usual thing and then just started controlling my thoughts a bit more. So my thoughts were going between, being like assessing stuff a bit too much and then thinking about, not so much enthusing things, just stuff,
Yeah, I understand.
that sort of thing. Like it was a bit sort of like flip-flopping between I should be here, but I'm thinking about here, that sort of thing. And then after a while, it started to, I just made my thoughts stick to what's actually good, like what's going on that's good, what am I excited about, what can I be excited about, what is happening. So sometimes it takes a little bit of effort, but you can feel your mood slowly change. And then the story that I put up was find the best frequency you can and hold it. The reason that's important is because you take your energy into the day. Like the day doesn't just, or it can, but just give you the energy. You take it into the day, whether you realize it or not. So if you wake up and you're like thinking about, oh, Jackson was a friggin' pain yesterday, or la, 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 you're taking that frequency into the day and the day is going to have the same rhythm to that, so the same flow. And whatever you give your attention to for the longest in the morning is how it's the tone. That's going to be the tone of the day. It's exactly like when a singer goes, ah, yeah, like I'm tone deaf. I wouldn't have a clue. But you know how they go, have you ever watched that girl, Honey, and she sings with the voice coach, and it's that she sings the song Creep. Fantastic, really good song. And the voice coach goes, we're going to start in this, ding, and he does the piano, and she goes, ah.
Yeah, right.
So they find the tone before they start singing, and she goes, ah. She goes, yep, got it. So she's set her...
She set a tone, yeah.
Yeah, but set her, almost like her mechanism to start there. So she goes, ah, and then in her brain registers it, and then that's where the song will start. You know, she goes, yep, got it.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah, so that's exactly like our day. So today for me, like it was like if I register the mood, it would be content, which is at like the bottom of the zone. I was like, okay, not like feeling super passionate about anything really. I was just like, but I'm slowly coaching myself because you can't jump a lot. You can't go from content to excited. It's like a gradual thing. It's a bit like when you put a pot on the stove. It doesn't go from there to boiling. It goes, and then the bubbles start coming and then boiling. We're the same. So my job today is probably go a little slower. So probably like not be so determined and just try and smash things out of the park. Probably just match my action with how I'm feeling.
Well, okay, it's good that you. Can I ask a question just on that before I forget it? So it's good that you've said that because it's very rare to see you. Like normally, I haven't seen you or heard you say that for a long time. So, but do you feel like you need to go back and try and solve those thoughts, like because they're obviously on your mind? Like, because it's normal to assess stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's normal to think things through. Like it definitely is. Like partners, job. Like you sort of need to. Like go through, like rather than just lock the process off and go, no, I can't let my mind go there. Like, do you feel like it will come back around at some point anyway, unless you sort of solve it?
I think there's two ways to look at it. You can. So if it's something that's, let's say, Jackson and I had a huge argument yesterday, and that was making my thoughts go all weird, and then that in turn that's making my frequency weird. I could say, hey Jack, just want to talk about that thing, I'm sorry, blah, blah, and feel better, and then you'll move on from that.
Yeah.
But you've got to do it. See, the most dominant energy will rule. So if you're not steady yourself and you do that, it could blow up into another argument and you wreck your day again. So you've got to make sure your footing's really solid. So I probably wouldn't rush and do anything at the moment. I'd just be like, you know, what's on today, George? What can we do? You know, talk to my owners, engage with people, eat well, whatever. And then it'll either disappear, like that, whatever was making my thoughts go a bit funny, it'll disappear and I'll just feel better. Or I'll feel better and sort, if you had a problem, sort the thing out. So it's either one. Yeah. But you just don't need to rush and do anything until you feel like strong. You know, I'm probably like, okay, just okay. You know, not like I don't need to do anything right now apart from just at least stay here, not go down. You know, not get anxious about work, not get, you know, I should be like busting through the roof. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I do that sometimes. Like I'll be like, well, what's wrong with you? Like my own internal, like what, like why? Like sometimes when I wake up a bit, I'm like, why?
What?
Yeah, like to my body, I'm like, well, why? We
not
had enough
great.
sleep. I've been eating perfect. Like, what's wrong?
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
And it's probably a bit the same. Like sometimes you just wake up and aren't feeling it exactly, but you don't know why that is. Sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes it happens for me. I'm like, well, there's nothing there. I'm just not feeling 100%.
Well, it could be a bit. Also, I've got to fly to Melbourne tomorrow to go talk. Yeah. And then like, I just out of routine going to Melbourne talking. Like I rarely speak these days. And we were just talking about it before. So it's like maybe that's on my mind a little bit because I won't be able to do my usual thing. And I really like the routine that I have and I like being around. I like being connected to work and all that. I get a lot of energy from it. So there could be a bit of that there, but I'm not going to try and work it out. I'm just going to be like, next, what have I got to do next? and next and next and next. I sort of see it that way. What's the point of thinking about tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah, let's talk about some other stuff.
I've got one for you.
Yeah.
Before we jump into the questions.
Yeah.
TRT.
TRT, my favourite topic. Yeah. What about it?
Can you explain it?
Well, if you look at people when they comment, like people comment, oh, TRT or test or whatever else. So, yeah, let's talk about it. I like talking about it because I like, the reason I don't write it on comments is because quite often I'll go and DM the people about it.
Yeah.
And because I'm very like open and transparent with things, and I like to be that way because I think it's good. I think different people need different things at whatever time. Like so, and that's why I don't write it in comments, because some people have no idea what it is. Like, what does it even mean? So TRT is testosterone replacement therapy.
Yeah.
And if you want to talk about it, it's like steroids are the same as testosterone replacement therapy, but there's different levels of things. And so first of all, yes, I do take tests. So it's like TRT, and like Joe Rogan says, like he takes it, and there's many people that I know tens of people that take it, but people take it for different reasons. And when should you take it as well? So you've got to remember, I'm 50, I'm not 25. So when you get older, your body produces less testosterone. So I went to the doctors about, when was it, 8 years ago or something? And Chris, the doctor, who I know very well, and I was looking terrible, I was feeling terrible. I felt like I was actually just going to be sick or something. Like, someone came up to me at an open house once and said, "Are you all right?" I was like, "What do you mean?" And it was a buyer that I sort of half knew. He goes, "Are you sick?" And I was like, "No, I don't think so." He goes, "You look really bad."
Yeah, it didn't look well.
No, I didn't. And I was like 93 kilos and not eating correctly and all sorts of stuff. So I went to the doctor and got all my bloods done. He said, "Matt, I don't even know how you're still standing up." I was like, "Why?" He goes, "Your cortisol's through the roof and your test, I had no sex drive, zero at all." And he goes, "You got no testosterone and this." He goes, you need to do something." And I'm like, "Okay, well, what do I do?" And he goes, "Well, I can prescribe you this and whatever." And then I was talking to a few people, so I just decided to do it myself. And then, so when men get older, they get less testosterone, and then that's when 31 minutes sort of started as well.
Yeah.
Well, it was 30 minutes back then. So I thought, well, I better do something, and I decided to give up surfing and then go to the gym. And I was just running, doing a lot of cardio. I used to be a bodybuilder when I was younger. But I had no idea what I was doing. Like, I was just training with bodybuilders and taking gear back then and all that sort of stuff. But this time I was like, I could see my body changing as well, like not in a good way. Like, I always had a reasonably good body just naturally. Even when I was a teenager, people were like, "Oh, do you train in the gym?" And I was like, "No, not really." And they were like, "Oh, your body's like a good shape." And I was more of a surfer. So anyway, I just started taking that, and I gave up surfing and then went to the gym basically, and then started learning about it. And now I'm on a path just to see what I can do with my body. So TRT is like a certain level of testosterone is very healthy for you. So I probably take that and a bit more. Like, I don't take crazy amounts. I just take enough just to be for my body to respond well. And when you look into it, you sort of got to, I get my blood work done like probably every 3 months, just make sure that's all right. So I had it done probably about a week ago. Sort of sits good. And you just got to make sure that you're just operating in a level that works for you and your body. So to answer people's questions, yes, I take testosterone. And then like most men, you can't have a body that's pretty muscular, I don't think anyway, without some form of testosterone.
Especially
level.
in your 50s.
Yeah, I'm 50.
And one thing that I can jump in and say is I don't think people actually understand how you work hard in the gym, like hard to the
yeah.
point that like it's actually scary to be in. It's like literally a wild gorilla. You train twice a day and like hard, very, very hard. But also, I've never seen you break your diet ever. Even on your 50th birthday when we went away to Queensland, you would like your cheat meal or whatever was just raw sashimi and you put a bit of soy sauce on it. Like I'm like, that's not breaking your diet. Like it's raw fish.
It's a good point.
So I think people think like,
people think like steroids or testosterone. If you take that, all of a sudden you're going to have this inflated body, and it's just rubbish. You can take whatever you can take whatever you want if you're not training right. And a lot does have to do with genetics as well. Like you could take, or you've got great genetics. So does Jackson, but someone else could take stuff and then go and train, and they look terrible. Like they won't look like, they don't just look like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
You know, and but yeah, it's the training that you do. Like I've made training literally a part of my life, and I train a lot and I train hard, and that's why I train with Mets, and I've got a coach now, and not for any other reason apart from, like, over the next 10 years, I'd really like to see what I can do with my body, but I don't want to be some, you know, I don't want to be some huge looking crazy person. I just want to sculpt. Like it really interests me. And probably because in my 20s when I did it, I just didn't really optimize it. And now I like to see like it, you know, I don't know if it's a bit late or not, but you look at people like Micah Hearn and all these people, they have great bodies. He's like 53. So I just want to see what I can do there. It's become like a bit of a sport for me.
Yeah.
And I think when you work out, it's good for your mind. It's good for stress relief. It's good for, you know, just even, you know, just yourself in general.
Yeah.
Like to fill the tanks a bit, gives you a focus and a purpose. I do an hour of cardio a day mostly. Like sometimes I do, like yesterday I did legs and then I couldn't hardly walk properly, so I did half an hour. But my diet, I'm really learning a lot about food, and a lot of it is diet, believe it or not. You know, yeah, sure, you might take a bit of test and then go work out, but if your diet's not really good, then your results are going to be just as average. Like it's so, and I don't want to look like some chiseled lobster. Like I don't like that look either, where they're just so shredded and all of that. Like I'm not really interested in that. I think for me, like a 9% to 10% body fat is good. Like it's still looks like healthy-ish and it's maintainable. So I'm just trying to work out where all that fits for me.
Can I ask another quick question on that? Because I'm just interested while we're here. Why do you think TRT does have like a stigma to it?
Because I think people see it as a cheat. I think they see it as cheating. Like you go, like so Jackson or yourself.
But everybody has the same ability.
Yeah. But they see it as like, you know, it's like taking cocaine and partying. You know, it's like a bit of it's got this thing about it. But if you really learn about it, and I think too, sometimes people go overboard. But
there surely isn't any bodybuilder, like we're talking the best of the best, like the Arnolds and like the Micah Hearns and all that sort of stuff, that are in their 50s and not having some sort of TRT.
Yeah, all of them. It's not even TRT. That's like full. When you're like a professional bodybuilder, they take like a lot of them do. I think CBum actually doesn't take super a lot, but most of them take so much, it's craziness. Like but that's what they do. That's their life. Like they've got to compete at a level that 0.001% of the people in the world do against each other. So they've got to keep up with each other. Yeah. But I also think people just don't talk about it, because it goes back to probably when people were bodybuilding in the 70s. They didn't say, hey, I'm a bodybuilder and I'm on this. Yeah, like,
right, I understand.
Just has this weirdness about it. Whereas today there's a lot more stuff on it, and you go to your doctor, you get your bloods looked at and you monitor it, and I don't see anything wrong with it. Like it's because your body stops producing it mostly. Yeah. Like your body, like, and it's so important for just general men's health. It's really important. But there's different levels of it, and it's like people say, oh, you natural, like not me, but other people, like when they asked if they're natural, they yeah, I'm natural, and you're looking at them going, there's no way you're natural. It's got this weird, some people say it, some people don't. And even the word natural, like that's sort of what I was saying before. Like you could take, a couple of mils of testosterone and then sit on a lounge and it doesn't matter. Like nothing's going to happen, like zero. It's just to push it along and make it respond. It's like you have to like learn about how you eat and then stick to it. Like it's not easy to hold that focus and then go to the gym. And like I've rebuilt the way I worked out my whole life now, coaching with Mets. Like I do it less and to failure. Like it's a killer. Like Jackson comes, don't you?
What's it like?
Yeah, well, I switched up mine. As soon as I watched, I'm pretty lucky because I get to see Mets train dad. So I just pretty much copy their workouts every time. For the first, week, I couldn't even, I'd do 3 exercises and I couldn't lift any more weights because of how...
What's the difference?
Well, it's pushing yourself to failure pretty much every set. Like, and just going really slow. Like,
but what pushing yourself to failure means, just to jump in with Jack, is like I used to think I used to go to failure anyway, but it's like go till you can't go anymore, and Metz stands there and basically says 5 more. Like I've never shaken so much in my life. Like yesterday at the gym, I could not stand up on my legs.
So does that just basically tear the muscle more and more and more? Yeah.
Yeah, and I do 2 sets. Sorry, Jack, you finished?
Yeah. I was just pretty much saying what you were saying.
Yeah. So I used to do 5 sets of 5 exercises, each one. So like if I was doing flies, I do 5 sets of flies. Now I do one set and then 1 drop set. And that's it. So 2 sets for 5 exercises. So
Wait.
Yeah.
On the max, like on your, like, because
and
I
the weight,
I don't know much about
this part.
Yeah, okay.
The weight is like less than what I could lift. So
right, that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah. So let's say I lifted 100 kilos, right?
Yep.
I could push 100 kilos, whatever exercise. I would do 60 now.
And just
but till failure.
And just keep going
until you literally can't. How much do I shake, Jack, in the gym?
Yeah, like copious amounts.
Yeah.
Like I said to Metz, I was like, I've never seen him. I laugh every time because he's like full, can't stand up, has to walk away.
Yeah.
It's like Metz just sees me cracking up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
okay.
it's totally different. So like you can. That's what I'm saying.
So
about,
one to failure, and the next one's drop set.
Well, drop set mostly, but drop set would be like. So start at 60, go to 40, go to 20, and then you'll stop for 10 seconds and do 20 again. Like, it's killer.
Yeah, interesting.
Killer. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying about TRT. Who cares? Like, whatever. Like, work out, learn about it, work out, take a little bit, and then... But without the other stuff, it's pointless anyway.
Yeah.
It means nothing. So I hope that answers everyone's questions. But we've got a lot of questions here as well.
Heaps.
I saw one in there about my family.
Yeah, it says...
That's a bit of an unusual question.
Your family want to know about you.
So too close to the mic.
Yeah, he likes it.
I was literally...
Just put the sound down a bit. We'll just do it.
I do get right into the mic. Yeah, someone said your family want to know about sisters, brothers, mum, dad, etc.
Sisters, what was it?
Your family want to know about sisters, brothers, mum, dad, etc.
All right. Well, my dad was an alcoholic. He died at 47. He used to just drink all day, drink all the money, and I couldn't stand anything about him. And then my mum lives in Queensland on the top of a mountain with her partner. And then I hardly ever see her. So she just lives like a hermit up there. And then my sister died. She killed herself when she was 27. And that's it.
Yeah, gee.
Yeah.
You don't want to really talk about it, do you? Yeah. Sorry, I'm not laughing. I mean, you just really got to the point there, didn't you?
Yeah.
I saw a good one here. How do you get more motivation?
More motivation? How do you mean?
Well, someone said, I just have no motivation. How do I get more?
That's a problem. I think, well, you don't need motivation. You just got to be interested in something.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
When you're interested in something, you're keen. And I think motivation is just a reflection of keenness. So like people say to me all the time, how do you drive to Coogee and back? And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like I get up at 3:30, I'll drive down, I'll train for 45 minutes and drive back. What's the big deal? Like I'm keen to learn more. That's why I go there. Like I don't need to use those weights, but yes, they do have a lot of great machinery. But I'm keen to work out with Mets every time because I'm learning in a month or two. I've learned more than in the past 10 years. Is that worth driving an hour and a half that way or 2 hours, whatever it's going to take, train and come back? But I work all the way down. I call you and all this on the way down. I can't call everybody on the way down. It's too early sometimes. And then on the way back, I'll call 30 people that I maybe wouldn't have even called before. So I'm actually more productive, but there's no motivation needed.
Because you want it that bad.
I want it.
Yeah.
So what are you attaching your end goal to? They need a focus. Like what is that? And that's why I like fitness, because it does a whole lot of things. It sort of does, it's like a pyramid. When you put fitness at the top, like everything changes around it. You feel better, you're more active, you eat better, you're like more centered. So your life almost works all around that. You know what I mean? So I would say to them,
find something you're
find
interested
something
in.
they really and interest changes. Interest changes. I was surfing for a long time. Now I do this. So like, whatever you're doing doesn't mean you got to do it for the rest of your life. Just be like keen.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Anger, how to avoid it once it's started?
Just don't do it. Anger's like, I'll tell you yesterday. Here's a good example, right? With anger, I've got angry at Jackson quite a few, and you, both of you.
Terrifying.
Yeah. But every time I do, you get halfway into it and you're like, why did I get this angry? Like in your brain, you're like, why am I like literally sounding like a crazy person? Because everything goes, you become unstable. You're like looking at the person going, I really don't hate you, but I'm like talking to you like I just can't stand you. And sometimes it's over nothing. Anger is mostly your problem.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Anger's mostly I'll tell you yesterday, right? Tara, I was coming home from Coogee and I said to Tara, I wouldn't mind a new pair of sneakers, like, because I'm a bit like weird. Like if I like something, I buy like lots of them and I just wear them all the time. So I've got these sneakers, 3 pairs of them, all right? So I do, and they're the same. I was wearing them and I like them.
Your sneakers drive me crazy, just by the way.
You don't like it?
The white ones that look like you literally run them in the mud before you go to the gym.
Well, that's why I got. Well, what happens is.
Why are you laughing? Because do you agree?
Yeah, he wore those same white. He had a brand new pair. And he just didn't want to wear. No, I like these ones. The dirty old grey.
But I'll tell you why. All right, like my whole life, when I've really liked something, it's always been discontinued. Like strawberry pops. I know I've mentioned them before, but strawberry pops I loved, and they got discontinued. And then and I always think, why do they discontinue the ones I like? Like it's like, and then I don't have them anymore. Anyway, my life's been a bit like that. So I buy something, and then I just buy a lot of them, so I don't have to ever think about it again. But I just still wear the same ones,
didn't you just buy,
even though there's new ones.
Didn't you just buy 60 singlets?
I did.
I think I walked in the
No.
office and I said to Ash, "Can you help me with this?" She said,
I bought 100.
I'm just buying Matt's 60 singlets. I nearly fell over laughing. I'm
I
like,
bought 100.
What the heck?
Yeah,
100 singlets. I'm like,
Yeah.
100 singlets. Where are they going?
I just
You should see all the country road shirts
like,
I have from him. I've got like a whole wardrobe and a closet full of ones I don't want to wear because they're like bright blue and green and like all these extra country road.
When we go to Calibra, or the lady in there just must go, yes, we're about to make our yearly quota with Matt. Can I just get 45 black t-shirt menswear shirts? Yeah,
because then you got them.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what were we saying about the?
We're saying about your shoe.
Anyway, I was driving home and I saw these blue shoes one time with Tara at Christmas in Nike, and I was like, I don't know about blue, but I was like, it could be stepping outside my usual thing. I don't mind them, maybe the blue, and I just needed to go and look at them again. I said to Tara on the way home, driving, and she's not feeling the best at the moment, but she's sitting at home, and I said, I might just pop into Bondi just to have a look at these shoes. Oh. I was like, does it matter? She's like, no, it's fine. Like that. And I'm like, all right. And I was like talking to her a bit, and then she was like a bit rude, So I was like, all right, I'm going to go. So yeah, bye. Hung up on her. And then she goes, well, not hung up on her, just hung up, like, okay, bye. And she's the same. Like, we're exactly the same, like that. And then I was driving along, and I'm like, in this moment here, I could literally wreck the entire day.
Yeah.
Like, I could just not talk to her. Go to Bondi, take 3 hours, whatever. Just like totally do the opposite of what I know she's wanting me to do. And then, but I left it like 10 minutes and just stopped my mind going there. And I rang her back, and I know she didn't answer. So she's probably doing the same thing on the other side. And then she rang back after like 10 seconds. I said, I love you. She goes, I love you too. Like this, right? And then the whole thing's fixed.
Yeah.
So like in that moment, I'm like thinking to myself, don't try and control me. Don't tell me I can't go there. Don't make this move. Like this where I was going in my mind. Like I don't want people telling me what I can and can't. This is, she can do anything she wants to do. I never, la, 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 la. But I was like, no, I'm not going there. Like what a waste of energy. So like, but that's taken a long time for me to get to there. So anger is just something I just don't let into my world now if I can help it. Every single time you get angry, it derails the next 3 hours of your day. So it's in that moment to say, is it really worth it? Because, 99% of the time, people are in jail because of anger.
Yeah.
Think about that. People are in jail because of emotion.
Most people probably.
They are. In that split second, they've done something, and that's the consequence.
Can't take it back.
Can't take it back. Nothing good comes from any of those vibrations or frequencies or emotions. And I think about that a lot. So I'm like, how do I want the rest of the day to be? It's in that moment you feel like you might get a bit of relief screaming at Jackson, which I've done. But, then he drives off, I sit there, whatever. We've done it as well. And you're like, oh, now you've got to manage that situation.
Yeah.
Whereas I could have gone, does it really matter anyway, by the way? Like when someone does something, like, does it really matter? But Jackson, sometimes it does. Like Jackson's done whole things and just, the microphone wasn't on.
I did that once.
Or whatever. Like,
time.
The file. Like the other time when, things, it's been a million things, Jackson.
But in saying that, like over time, back in the day when we used to fight, I wouldn't talk to you for like 2 years.
We didn't talk for 2 years.
No, but like now, like even that, we had that one down there where you told me to unball my fist or you're going to knock my head off.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, but every time
Jackson fully shaped up to me. I said, mate, don't close your fist. I'll knock your friggin' head off.
And I just went, and like undid my fist. And then I was like, but every time we've had that fight, it's always ended up in a better spot.
Yeah.
Now, because we'll have the fight, but then you'll obviously in your brain go, oh, okay, we're doing it because of this, and you'll turn it into like a motivational quote. So I'm like crying for the first 5 minutes, and then it's like I feel inspired at the end. So it goes pretty good now. But compared to where you used to be, it's a lot better.
It's a growth thing, that's for sure. Yeah.
But can I jump in on this? I love when you say people treat you how you train them to treat you.
Yeah.
So there is times where you can't just let things go. You have to be like, I don't stand for that. Like, where I'm pulling my sword out a little bit, I'm going to swipe you a bit, just so you know, that doesn't work with me.
Yeah.
So sometimes you almost have to like keep your energy steady, but make a point of it too.
That's exactly right.
Like, so you can't just let everything go. I feel like as well. Like
for sure.
Otherwise, you just get walked all over.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm with you there. Like, I think
it's more the silly things.
Yeah, it's letting it escalate.
Yeah,
is the problem. So when you let it escalate, it's a runaway train and it ends up in the ditch. Someone's put a rock on the track and it's like, yeah. So you're right. You've got to keep your energy steady. So we've had many discussions, and I say, Jordan, I think this has been a better way to do it. I think you should do this, blah, blah, blah. It's up to you whether you take the advice or not. Or I could go, Jordan, you freaking idiot. What did you do that for? Blah, blah. So you've got a choice of like how you stay.
How you deliver it.
It's all about how you feel in in yourself. And your world will reflect that. Nothing wrong with saying, hey, I don't want to stand for that. I don't think this is the way it should be. Yeah, not an issue. Another one.
Transparency of goals to small circles / friendship group.
Yeah, if you want to. I think it's got to be with your goals. I think it's got to be with people who understand. Like, there's no point saying to someone, I want to build a global brand, and they have like no interest in anything like that. Like they might go, oh yeah, that sounds good. Like, what's the point? But if it's like, I could talk about to you or Jackson or Steve, anything, like the amount of money you want to earn or amount of business or this or that. But some other friends, I probably wouldn't.
Yeah, it's all about like, the person.
Yeah, because they're like not interested one bit. But I could talk to those people about.
They're really booing you behind your back.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Do you think that's why people feel stuck sometimes, like in a friend group? Like they might have bigger aspirations like that. When they try to talk to them about it, they're like, cool, sort of thing?
Yeah,
and they feel like they're kind of stuck?
Yeah, I think so. Because it's like not many people are actually really happy for you. Like really. Like, it's a funny thing in life. That's why I just hang around so few people, because it's like there's got to be an energy resonance there. Yeah, I think. So transparency with goals, yeah, but only if they understand you and you're not trying to show off. Like you're not trying to say, oh, I'm gonna like if you run around and you send pictures about cars and things, and if you run around and go, oh, I'm gonna buy a Bugatti, like who's genuinely gonna go?
No one.
Oh, Jordan, you're killing it, mate. I can't wait. That's good on you, mate.
Literally zero.
Yeah, but when you send it to me, I'm like, I go, yeah, it's on its way. Wonder when that would be. Like, wonder how that process looks. Like, that's the way I think. And when you get your Bugatti, I'd be like, or whatever car you want, and they want all different cars. But when you get that, I'd be genuinely like, that's so cool.
Yeah, he's been talking about that for 10 years.
Yeah, it's like the realization of it. Yeah, so, yeah.
Work, family, fun, balance.
Yeah. I'm not really the best person for that topic. Work, family, fun, balance. Well, I don't have much fun. My fun is structure.
You should see Dad.
Jackson, you can comment on that one.
Well, whenever we were wakeboarding on Australia Day last year at Dad's friend's house, and like I was having a good time, Taz had a good time, and Dad like was hunched over on the back of the boat with his head in a towel, like looking like an old like babushka lady, like just wanting to get off the boat. But no, in his defense, he still does it.
But that's not you.
No,
like that. You did that for a relationship, and you were asked, and like. But
I've never wakeboarded. I don't want 8 people in a boat sitting there looking at the back of the boat with me on a rope, going, "Go and hold tight." Like, I just didn't see any.
Yeah, it's just not you.
I just feel like Dad cares now about us having fun. Like even when we go to trips to Queensland, and he'll get the fast pass for all the little kids. He won't go on any of the rides, but he'll watch everyone do it. I think he just likes. Like now he likes. Oh, he did back then, but now he likes just seeing everybody else have fun, and he gets gratification or feels good from that.
Yeah,
I think your fun is actually work and training. As much as as hard as training would be, I think that's your fun.
Yeah, like I'm actually can't wait to drive to Coogee today.
Yeah,
tonight.
There you
go. I'm going tonight. Like I love it, and it's. I think I think you got to sort of stay true to yourself. Like with balance, it says balance in there.
Yep.
I don't know about balance too much, because I think at different stages of your life, you got to give energy to different things. Like you is all work right now.
Yeah.
Like you work like so much, but you're building a success structure at work. Jackson's is not work, but it's like no, but Jackson's is actual structure in his day. So he loves getting up. Him and I work till say 12, something, and then Jackson will train at 2. And then he'll come home, and then I'll do some more stuff. So like he thrives on that type of structure, So yeah, I don't know about the balance thing. Like I think some people have it. It's more about doing what you want to do. Like, because my balance is different than what you would like.
Yeah,
I don't really have like. I don't want to sit and...
Yeah, everybody's balance is different. It's
like TV.
Person-specific.
TV, I can't work it out. Like, I say to Tara, how do you sit there and watch these shows? Like, I was watching one yesterday. I was like, it's just mush. I'm like going, how do you even watch these shows? She'll sit there for 3 hours watching different Netflix shows. Can't understand it.
Yeah.
Like, I literally can't. I feel like the clock is ticking, and I'm like, what a waste of time. But she loves it. She loves it. She can't wait for a new series to come out. She's like, I've watched all the series, I need another one. I was like, what, all of them on Netflix? You watched every one? And she's like, well, all the good ones I have. But she finds a lot of relaxation in that. So, her balance is way different than mine. Mine's like, can't walk it with Mets at the gym.
strength conditioning versus
We'll
cardio.
do a couple more and then we'll end
Yeah.
on a topic.
Strength and conditioning versus cardio.
Yeah, strength and conditioning. Well, strength and conditioning is actually the best cardio. The best way to look at it is what's better, who's got a better body, a sprinter or a marathon runner?
Well, ask me that again.
Who's got a better body, a sprinter or a marathon runner?
Sprinter.
Yeah, sprinter.
Yeah, that's the only way you need to look at it. So with cardio is good as like it's a respiratory thing, it's a circulation thing, it's like it burns a few calories, but you burn a lot more calories doing a great strength training session, because that strength training session, the calories keep burning for like an hour after, maybe more. So your body, and with muscles, they like to be worked. It's like with a car, if you don't use it and it starts to deteriorate. So it's good to like speed it up sometimes and get it moving and get the engine. If you just let it sit there and idle, it's not good for it. So it's like that strength, tearing the muscle, letting it repair, tearing the muscle, letting it repair is actually really, really good for it. So you look at someone's body who just does cardio all the time, might look okay, but you look at someone who trains, like even a woman, look at someone who trains their glutes and their hammies and their all that sort of stuff. They have a great shape to them. So strength and conditioning is I think a lot more productive. Is that the word, or useful?
I find it funny that Matt said
With some cardio,
walking's better like to make your body look better than running.
Yeah. So slow
weird.
state cardio is really good. So slow state, I do 5.5 on the treadmill on flat. Or you could just do an incline, but slower. So that's good. But I do that with strength training, like just as an extra at the end, just to burn a few more calories. Good for your mind, just doing all that. But I wouldn't do cardio just always on its own. I used to do a lot of cardio and nothing really changed. Like it didn't really like burn heaps of fat or anything like that. I used to sweat a lot, but it was like, it was more just getting on and doing the pedals, sweating and getting off. Like I've always had like a problem around my midsection. Like when I say a problem, I mean, it's all right, like it looks fine, but people wouldn't know. But if I eat rubbish, it goes straight there. And like on the sides, that's where I tend to hold a lot of fat. And when I started, I had a bit of a, like around there was, like my body was nothing like it is now, but it was like, and I used to do heaps of cardio, it just wouldn't go. Yeah, but if with the right weight training, it went. So it's like different.
Last question before you jump into that.
Yeah.
Because somebody said best advice for somebody starting out in real estate.
I don't want to do real estate question.
There's
let's do another one.
There's heaps.
We'll do a real estate podcast.
There's literally 75% of them are real estate. That's why I ended on that one for you.
We'll do a real estate podcast and we'll answer all those.
All right.
So your face is...
Yeah.
There's so many about real estate.
Well,
I was
do
trying
another one. There surely is another one there.
Advice for young adults on life and how to propel yourself into success in your early 20s.
What a great question.
There you go.
That's fantastic.
Here he is.
Yeah. Learn about frequency, the law of attraction and energy. If you can learn about that, it will literally change your entire life. Because working hard and 5 a.m. club and all, forget about all of that stuff. If you can learn how to master emotional control and operate on the emotional guidance scale consciously, so understand where you're at on it and manage it, your life will literally propel way more than anything else will ever come close to.
How does somebody do that?
Learn about it.
Yeah.
So there's a book called Ask and It Is Given by Esther Hicks, and also another one called Money and the Law of Attraction. You should read that, Jack. Money and the Law of Attraction. Great books. It'll teach you about like how to create stuff. Well, think about it. Like all that's saying is how do you create a great life? So if you create a great life via energy and attraction and emotional control, wouldn't you need to learn about that first? But you don't learn it. No one knows about it. Well, not no one, but a lot of people don't know about it. What they learn is, like, there's people like Wes Watson and who's some others, even Tony Robbins and who else is there? There's like a number of people, coaches out there, and they're all like in your face, like rah, rah, rah. How many people do you think have been to a Tony Robbins seminar and done nothing about their life? I'm sure some people have.
90%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some people have gone 5 times. Like, oh, Tony's in Australia, let's go. He's great. Like, I've read his books, I've listened to everything, and I'm not bagging him at all. He's a very successful human, very successful. You know, and now I was watching Wes Watson yesterday on a thing, and it's also like in your face. Get up and you go do this, and we're going to smash it, and blah, blah, blah. You go after your goals. That's great, but that's very short-lived.
Yeah.
Like really short-lived. And it's, even if you stay like that, and I've been like that for a long time, you will burn out and you will get disconnected and you will get very disenchanted with life because you got nothing left to give. Because you don't understand that your energy source comes from inside of you and how you feel is talking to you. So if you don't feel fantastic, like today for me, I don't not feel fantastic, but I don't feel amazing either. Like I feel in the middle. If I went out and literally had to make 100 prospecting calls and do all this stuff, and I had kids' demands and trying to fit it all in and whatever, instead of go, hang on, this is how I am and I'm going to make my day fit to how I am, you know, be as productive as I can within the way that I feel today, I will get to the end of the day and be exhausted if I just went out and just determinedly like pushed the boundaries as hard as I can and hardly ate properly and did all this and worked on the red zone, just like, I would actually have not a very good day today.
Yeah.
You know, there is a time and place to, you know, be inspired for sure. But if you actually learnt that it's a gentle process, it's not a forceful process. It's a gentle process, being really sensitive about how you feel. And when you tune into how you feel always, every minute of every day, you might need to sleep at 11:30 this morning.
Yeah.
You might need a nap because things aren't exactly flowing right. It's sort of like, and you have a nap and then reset and then direct your thought. Because every time you have a sleep, you reset your emotional position. It stops. And then when you wake up, you know how many naps I have? I have so many naps, it's not funny. Sometimes I drive to Sydney and just pull over on the side of the road, have a nap, but most times I do because I'm driving along, feeling a little bit tired, like that. And I'm like...
I don't know how you go to sleep so quickly.
Straight away. Like I've trained myself though. I pull over and I like literally love it. Like put the seat down and I have a 10-minute nap because I get excited.
What do you do at this point?
Oh, he's done it one time with me in when we were at Brisbane. He just pulled over on the side of the road and he goes, I'm just having a 10-minute nap. And I was like, I can just drive. He's like, no. Went back and reclined. I was driving a Coogee the other day and Dad was in front of me and I was like, oh, that's Dad on the freeway. And I couldn't see his head and I was like, oh, he must be sleeping. So I just kept going.
It's the most powerful thing you can do. Because if you're feeling a little bit, so let's say I drove to Sydney, right, and I'm feeling tired. And have you ever driven and it's like, you know, that's why babies fall asleep in the car, like, because there's that travel thing. And you get it feeling tired, you can either keep going and end up at your appointment or end up what are you going to do feeling not very fresh and then try and work your way through it. You'll be okay. I'm sure you have spikes of energy along the way there. Or you have a nap, reset your energy, get your thoughts going again, put a great song on or put Esther Hicks on or something, and you keep going. So like you're divided in two and you get to your appointment feeling much fresher, feeling like good. You will nail your next appointment or meeting or whatever it's going to be because your energy is like set. Or you get there with the tank really low. How does it feel when you drive along and your reserve light comes on your fuel tank?
Yeah.
How does it feel?
Not good.
Not great, does it? It's like, it makes you a bit like, I've got to fill it up. Yeah, I hope I've got enough in there. It's just exactly the same. I'm more focused on how much energy is in my tank than I am about how much work have I got to do. Like that's it. Because when your tank is measured and it's fullish, half to full all the time, or as much as possible, because you like tune into it, things match it. Always. So why wouldn't you learn about that first? Why wouldn't you make energy your number one priority? in everything that you do. That's why when you say to me, when things don't work out and I just like brush them off, it annoys the hell out of me, but I'm not prepared for it to drain my energy tank, then go to the next appointment all angry, worried. I'm like, no, I'm going to fill my energy tank up and I'm going to find the next thing that matches my energy source, my energy tank. It's the best. So I would make it my life mission to learn about energy management. You know, there's a book called The Power of Full Engagement by Jim Schwartz. I'd read that. And there's a lot of stuff out there, but you got to go find it as well. So there's a place for these people that go, get out there and you go kill the world, blah, blah. But if you don't feel like it, you're not going to kill anything. You'll get killed.
Or you don't like what you're doing.
Or you don't like what you're doing. And how do you change that? You know, like, that's what I was saying before. Energy is a slow, gradual thing. It's not like all of a sudden I feel amazing thing. It's like if you're feeling here, you got to slowly move your energy flow up. You know, it's like turning your tap on a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And when you learn how to do that, it's almost like you unlock the secrets to everything. Because what you see over time is once it's like the tide. It's the same as the tide. Does the tide just go high to low? No, it's a 6-hour process. And you don't even see it. It's like if it's going from low tide to high tide, all of a sudden the water's coming up a bit further. And then it's like, and then it creeps up on some people and they get stuck on a rock and they're like, oh, shivers, I didn't even see the tide coming up. Now I can't even get off of here. They don't notice it. But that's the same. It's like with your energy, it's such a slow, gradual thing. But when you learn how powerful that is, it's like the power of water. It's unstoppable. Water can break anything, but it doesn't rush in and just break it. It just slowly goes like this and goes and smashes it apart because it like fills it up and goes to a level that becomes so powerful. And that's the same as with your energy. Exactly the same. So you don't go from low tide to high tide in 1 second. That's what some of those people are saying. Get out of bed. You go crush it. You do this. You do that. If you don't feel like it, don't fake it.
Yeah.
If you're not feeling like it, don't feel like it. And then say, what do I need to do to start to feel like it a little bit? Just a little bit. Like, is it just cruise and eat a nice bowl of porridge with some fruit in it and just watch a couple of videos and, you know, talk to Jordan in the morning and just, you know, get that going and move my thoughts and energy over here. And then by the time lunchtime comes, you're in a much better space than you were in the morning. But if you go the other way, by the time lunchtime comes, you just want to go to bed and just forget about the world because nothing's going right, nothing's feeling right. You're trying to like pretend it's all right, but it's not the same. So let's end on that. So I would make my life's mission, I am, and I'm like 50 years old. Like I'm like, how good can I get this over the next 10 years? So if you were 25 or 23 or 27 like you, if you knew that now and you worked that out over the next 5 years, you've literally unlocked the secrets to everything you want in your life. Not only the things that you want, but you'll get so good at it, you won't want the things, but you will feel so good that all you want to do is work out how do I feel better and better and better and better, and that becomes your life quest because it feels so good.